This video is made for adult collectors because rare ass, stank ass figures. Obscure transformer. Not obscure enough. Random, but not really obscure. These are more so obscure toys than they are obscure characters, so nah. He's not as obscure as everybody makes him seem. Ooh. That's hella obscure. Transformers Nezha, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, was a show made by Allspark Animation and China Central Television to air in China. It was going to keep some Cyberverse characters, but mainly feature the new ones. But the show never made it out because COVID hit during its production, and it just never saw the light of day, and it's unclear if it ever will. But some toys did make it out. The deluxe size thing that Bolt Matrix did a video on, the weird Lego set things, and then this, that never actually saw a large release. This 3-pack includes these 3 dudes, Nezha, Lei Zenzi, and Tu Jingsun. I'm probably pronouncing those horribly wrong, and I do apologize if I am saying them incorrectly. These 3 are loosely, as you said in air quotes, based on pre-existing transformations that exist, but to my knowledge, these are brand new molds entirely. They just share engineering. Also, these are official, by the way. We'll start with the green one, because it looks interesting, borrowing some engineering tropes from Transformers Prime's Cyberverse, which is Legends Knockout, but with elbows and knees. It's not bad. It's the most posable of the 3, but I'll talk about that in a bit. There's like no paint apart from the head, but it's a very good looking head. I love the styling that they did with the color breakup and stuff. The rest of the toy just looks a bit bland and boring. It's nice green though. Nezha looks awesome. There is more paint on this than the green one, and the torso details look very flashy and pretty. There are aspects of the culture it comes from on the toy, and I really enjoy that detail. I do really like looking at it. However, it can barely pose. The hips are so limited that really only the arms are useful most of the time. There's also a scuff on my figure's face, which is a bit annoying, but yeah. The backpack is also supposed to tab in. Doesn't on mine, it just flops around, but it's also small enough that it doesn't really matter, which is good. And the 2 we've looked at so far, they feel pretty terrible. Plastic quality is really thin and flaky feeling. I also had to screw the leg back onto my Nezha because out of the box it wasn't fully screwed in and it was about to fall off. In contrast though, this dude feels great. The plastic on the orange dude is just like oddly better for some reason. It's slightly thicker. The toy styling is also my favorite. It looks like he's wearing traditional robes, which look great. The drill hand can be removed and put on. It is the only figure to come with a weapon, and it's entirely painted in silver, which is great. The furnace just started. Damn it. Look at him. He's a bit chunky, but he looks great. I love it. They are around Scout or small deluxe size, so they're a fairly nice size, and their hands are 3mm, so if you need 3mm weapons from like Transformers Prime or Dark of the Moon, you can slip those in and they'll hold them. So these bros being about Scout sized, they do have articulation, though how useful it is up for debate. So the most posable one is the Jolly Green Giant here, who has head rotation. Shoulders are on ball joints. They can go in and out. These don't tab in, so these go out, but you can use it as like an extra shoulder joint if you want. Elbows are on ball joints, so you get bicep swivel. Nothing at the waist. None of them have waist joints. Hips can go forward. They only go back that far. They only go out that far. No thigh rotation. Knee bend. It does bend over 90 degrees, but the backpack does get in the way. There you go. There's the bend over 90 degrees. And then if you want to, the feet can go forward, which I do like. And then these little wing bits can flare out, but I sort of leave them out of focus. I sort of leave them right there. But yeah, that's the most posable. And he's not very posable. So what are the other 2 like? Well, get out of frame. The main character here, Nezha, I still don't know how to pronounce that, and I do apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But the head, it can rotate. It's got a really long neck. Just notice that. Shoulders can shift in and out and go out about that far, rotate on ball joints. You can change these up if you want a different sort of look, so that's nice. Ball jointed elbows, bend, bicep swivel. Now the hips. They only go forward that far. They go back a lot farther than they go forward, especially considering all of this can move out of the way to accommodate even more backwards leg motion. And that's because of the way this front skirt's done. Now in the video you saw leaning forward. Oh, come on. And what I did was I pushed this up, put the hip forward, and then just sort of shoved this back down a little bit, which did help, but they're wearing a turtleneck now. So it doesn't really work super well. Nothing at the thighs again. Knee bends over 90 degrees, and then the feet can go down. Got massive heels too. So yeah, there you go. That's the main character. Not superposable. And then you have, get out of frame. You have the brick. Not the furniture store, but this man. Head rotates and can look down into his own chest. Shoulders can rotate, they can go out that far. He does have butterfly joints due to his transformation, elbow ball joints, blah, blah, blah. So pretty much similar to the other two. Comes to the waist. The legs only go forward that far. They go back that far. They go out that far. They do have a rotation because there's a ball joint at the knee. So you get a knee bend, and these are hollow so that when you bend the knee, it goes into, the tread goes into it, so you can get a 90-degree bend at the knee. But that's really all he does. Doesn't do anything else. And yeah, so they're pretty static figures. I don't put them in poses on the shelf. Honestly, I just sort of, he fell over. I just sort of leave them on the shelf and have this behind them, the sealed copy. But yeah, they're not something you're gonna pick up and want to mess with all the time. So these are weird, but they do become alt modes. So let's do that. All right, let's make these vehicles. Starting with the main character. If you've ever transformed like a Cyberverse Bumblebee, that's just what this is. Fold the feet up, peg the legs together, peg the leg. There we go. Peg the legs together. Pull this up. Straighten the arms out like that. Close this up. Fold the hood down. Peg it all in to that. Flip the windshield up, fold the legs in, flip the windshield down. Car. Easy peasy. Very Bumblebee-esque transformation. Green dude. All right, mushy peas here. You just peg his legs together, fold them out, fold this in. Bring this section up and fold the head inwards while you're doing that. I'll show that again. That's just one solid motion where you just sort of will do this. Push and push everything around. Head goes in. Bring this section, this is tough. Bring this section back. Peg it all into the back here, getting all the wings in place. Then the arms, you want to flip them 180 degrees at the elbow. Fold them in. Get this tucked underneath there. And then sort of just peg these in place. That's the side. And this is a Transformers Prime Cyberverse knockout transformation with elbows and knees. So yeah, you can tell they're borrowing transformations from other things, but there's the green one. This is This is a completely new transformation scheme. Big dude. Rip the drill off. Fold the arms out and fold the shoulder pads in like that. Rotate this around. This one's also the most interesting transformation out of the bunch because it's not, these two are very generic even if they weren't rips of other figures already. Like their engineering wise, this is completely new, so it's really original and really interesting to do. You peg the legs together, fold them up, fold up the treads, and then you clip the drill into place and fold it up. Drill tank. I love these little alt modes. The green one looks kind of bland still. There's more paint on the alt mode than there is on the robot mode, but the stripe on the side though, like it doesn't continue all the way, it just cuts off. Really wish it went all the way, but the shaping is nice. The big line on the hood there doesn't like to fully close, so it leaves that gap, which is annoying. Nezha looks like an older car of sorts, but I love this look. And the detailing with the yellow pinstriping is very nice to see. I do wish the wheels had some paint or like pick out the details on the rims. I also just noticed that writing this that there's the badge on the front is picked out. It's really tiny, so I'm glad they painted it. If you do give it a nice little squeeze though, it will start to come apart, so it doesn't hold together the greatest. Drill Tank Man though is my favorite. We need more alt modes like this, like Minor Megatron, this thing, please, more. I like the shape, the chunk, the feel, how clean the alt mode is. Okay, that one's a bit meh because the legs go nowhere. But he also doesn't have rolling wheels, which is a huge shame. But I think these shine in alt mode. They look nice together as a set. They do fit some Cyberverse figures well enough to be in a display, like for me. Now buying this, it's hard. One of these things showed up on Buy a couple weeks ago and sold for $2,000 plus, which damn, okay. They popped up for a bit online for like 50 bucks, so I grabbed a couple, and as soon as I did, they were gone. So I'm glad I got them. I'd love to get that deluxe thing they made because it's big and it looks neat and it comes with a human and stuff. But these, if you find them for around 50 or less, I'd say get them. But that's going to be a very, very difficult thing to do. They're also not the best toys in the world. The only reason I feel like their value is worth it, at least for what I paid, is because of how rare they are. Otherwise, I wouldn't honestly recommend them. Unless you like buying weird, goofy, rare things, then yeah, this is totally up your alley. But I'm glad I have these and I love them, flaws and all. But that's my look at the Transformers Nezha 3-pack. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.